What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Dirty Shore Underground. Tonight's bonus episode, Fear the Walking Dead, Season 2, Episode 4. Brian's back to join us again tonight. He's wicking his stuff, so I can't talk. But before we get into it, hit him, Rob.
Alright, so make sure you check out DirtyShoreUnderground.com. You can find new episodes of the podcast every Thursday, bonus episodes every Monday or Tuesday. As you probably well know, we are out of the Walking Dead episodes. We are into Fear the Walking Dead. Obviously, that's what we're going to be doing here tonight. Walking Dead will return this fall, and so will we. Will we be with you throughout the spring for Fear the Walking Dead, so make sure you check out new episodes there. And make sure you're following at DirtyShoreUG on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, so you can get all the latest updates, including links to the live stream. We are live streaming this and every episode live on YouTube, youtube.com/c/DirtyShoreUG-OTA. So make sure you're checking that out. Scroll down to the bottom. There's a section that says live comments. Make sure you put in your comments and questions there. It pops up on the right side of the screen so you can participate and be part of the podcast. Just keep in mind there's about a 40-second delay, so give us some kind of idea about what it is that you are referencing so that we can answer appropriately. Also, always like to say from the top, we are a proud member of the The Anthem Digital Network. Make sure you check out The Anthem at otheanthem.com. This week we'll be debuting a new podcast, so make sure everybody checks that out. And for the first time, let me say welcome to the Alliance, and that'll make a little more sense later on this week, so make sure you check that out. But as we always do on our bonus episodes, right now I would like to say this is your spoiler alert. We are going to be discussing Fear the Walking Dead Episode 4, which just aired on the East Coast. We're also going to be discussing the rest of the Fear the Walking Dead season, and the previous season, or the half season, as well as possibly The Walking Dead, the most recent season and all the seasons, the comics, the graphic novels, and everything else about the Walking Dead universe. So if any of that will be spoiled for you, stop now, go check it out, and then come back and see us then. So, show will start in 3. Okay. So, our biggest call of the season last season and into this season, proven wrong tonight.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Yes, it was.
But it almost makes more sense because there was kind of a question about what. How did Strand get the resources? What's going on? He must be a government agent, but we found out tonight, not a government agent. So, what were your thoughts? Okay. So
we'll get to that.
Yeah, what are your thoughts specifically about his position and what's going on there?
It was obvious. Even though he's not a government agent, he was still a man that could gather his resources and knew what the hell he was doing. So, I mean, we see him, got a guy drunk. Obviously, you thought the guy was pretty drunk.
And if anybody has noticed that guy appear before in the Walking Dead universe, please let us know. I thought for sure I'd seen him somewhere. So if you've seen him, let me know. Obviously, he's been in other stuff, but I felt like I've seen him in The Walking Dead.
He almost kind of looks a little like Tyrese. Maybe a slimmed down Tyrese.
Well, not Strand, the other guy. The other guy we met tonight.
The white guy?
Yeah, I feel like I've seen him in a flashback during The Walking Dead. Or maybe it was a flashback last season. I don't know, but it's driving me nuts. So if you recognize that guy, let us know. Sorry, go ahead, yeah. So we know Strand has been, from the moment we met him, he was a resourceful guy.
Yep.
And shows his resourcefulness in, I guess it's the first flashback, but this is the first setup flashback that we've had in the entirety of this season of Fear the Walking Dead, I think.
It's starting to show its Walking Deadness.
Right,
in a sense. Because now we're getting backstories to characters prior to the current circumstances of the apocalypse.
Right.
To fill in the blanks. Strand is one crafty son of a bitch, if I say so myself. He was smart enough to leave the boat when the quote-unquote pirates hopped on, so...
Well, I do want to say thanks, Gotham Guy, for joining us once again this week. Glad to see you're becoming a regular. He said, yo ho ho, it's a pirate's life ahead. We've been calling them pirates, and they literally, they snuck on, but it's not Jack Sparrow, but piracy is exactly what that was. They come in on a little boat, they're trying to steal the big boat, and they're waiting for their buddies in a smaller smaller than Abigail, but bigger than the Kodiak boat to come in. Like, it's piracy at its finest. And what is his name? Jesse McCartney? Is it Jesse McCartney? Looking a little looking a little rough around the edges. Does not look like the teen heartthrob that he was in 2005. But I think he played the part good, and it looks like he's sticking around, despite the fact that he got a big-ass metal rod shoved inside of him, thanks to Mom. It looks like he's going to be sticking around for at least another episode. But we called them pirates, I think kind of jokingly, that they were pirates, but that's exactly what they turned out to be.
The way the episode started up, this is what you missed. Nick was swimming.
Newsflash. I missed the beginning of the episode. So
I'm sure that's not a newsflash for anybody anymore that watches. Nick was swimming the shore naked. He had his clothes in one of those little floaty bags, and it was attached to him.
Okay.
And when he got to shore, he opened up the bag, put his clothes on, snuck around. There was a bunch of tents right there on the shore and some campers and stuff, and he was banging on stuff, looking for a zombie.
Right.
Through one of those water jugs that you would go into an office and, the little barrels.
Like the big type, yeah.
But it was like cut in half, and once he found the zombie, he threw it in the other direction, so his attention was over here. Just long enough for him to get on his side, and then he got his attention again, so it followed him. He went inside the tent, zipped it up so that the zombie couldn't really get into him, and as soon as the zombie was up against the mesh, he grabbed him right underneath the jaw, and he jabbed the knife through his forehead.
Nick is turning into Rick, man.
Unzipped it, pulled him in, cut him open.
Yeah.
Covered himself in the blood, as you've seen.
Right. And now you said that he did grimace a little bit when that happened,
yes.
right? Matt, thanks for joining us. JC, thanks for joining us. And JC comments, Jack Sparrow's not gay. Listen, you and I may have a different perspective on that. The man wears makeup, he dances around, drinks rum drinks.
I mean, even he once upon a time said that Jack Sparrow was gay, so...
Yeah, pretty sure that that all much makes sense, so...
I'm talking about Johnny Depp when I said that. He said that Jack Sparrow was
Jack Sparrow. Character, not actor. Gotham Guy says he gagged when he opened the zombie and covered himself. So, I think that's an important point, because he's not a sociopath. Like, he's doing this because he wants to be able to walk around freely, but he's not just like... He's not a governor.
And
he's not a governor.
It's still a new thing, too, at this point, so... It's not like 4 seasons into Walking Dead where now they're used to the zombie guts and shit. This is like still within the first year, so...
So he covers himself up, and then, and here's the interesting thing, I think, and he makes a comment to his sister last episode or the one before, that basically he'd been in the zombie apocalypse for the last few years, like living on the fringe, kind of floating in and out of society, and being there without being seen, really. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's weird for him. He's covering himself with blood to fit in with the zombies, but in the end, he's doing what he did in society beforehand. So
the drugs had control.
Right. But turning into a fucking badass, cutting people open and stuff, that is something that's uniquely him. And I guess sticking with Nick for just a minute, he's the one who... I mean, I guess there's the way that you do a chase in a movie is that it's episodic. So, or a trip tale, like a road trip movie, you go to a place, you stop, something happens. You go to a place, you stop, something happens. And I think we're seeing a lot of the travel is happening between episodes. Like, the boat was stopped here. For what reason, kind of unclear. But they moved and then they stopped. But apparently it's because Strand knew they were meeting somebody there. And Nick is the one who discovers the people they're meeting. Mm-hmm. And I think I missed a little bit about that. Who is the guy specifically that Strand was meeting? Yeah, who's Luis?
Luis was the guy from the flashback.
Yeah.
The Mexican guy that walked in with the guy he robbed.
Okay, right.
So, how were they?
Oh, so did I not? I guess I didn't recognize him in the hotel scene.
Yeah,
okay. So another thing I guess we could say about Strand is he was a man who was born out of Hurricane Katrina. That's his backstory we know now. He apparently had a normal life at that point, but needed to survive. So did what he had to do to survive. Yeah.
The guy's name is Tom, right?
Tom who?
What's his face's benefactor.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't catch his name.
I thought it was Tom Abigail.
Is it?
They worked for a family. Their name was
Abigail? Is that where the boat? See, I missed a lot because I was editing during the.
Is this him?
No, that is not him. Sorry, we missed a couple of comments, guys. Sorry about that. But Gotham guy said Jack Sparrow may not be gay, but he probably is bi.
That was JC that said that.
Oh, is that JC?
I think so.
No, it's Gotham guy because
Okay.
the Y is at the bottom here. Are you referring to Strand being confirmed gay? The chase is over. Pirates found them. I hope that means the story gets more meaty for the last 3 episodes. The guy they met is the cartel. Right, so Luis is a member of the cartel. It turns out that Tom, if that's his name, is also a member of the cartel. And Strand, in typical fashion, I suppose for most guys, screws up and screws over the wrong person. Steals credit cards from a guy who's made, and they find him later. But instead of being mad, the guy's kind of impressed. Tom Abigail of the Abigail family is the guy Strand is in a relationship for, and Luis bodyguards for. So so Tom Abigail, the boat's Abigail. There's the connection.
Then, from what this is saying, it's played by this guy. He's only in 1 episode, and Fear the Walking Dead is the only thing he's been on.
That is not the guy. Let's see the guy again. This is not the guy that Strand kisses in the hotel room. Where are you at? What website?
IBDM.
IMDb?
Or whatever.
That's not him.
Are you sure?
That is not the guy that Strand kisses in the hotel room. So I guess, jumping on that, we find out Strand is gay. So, and no, that's not, definitely not him. It's definitely not him, I'm telling you, that's not the guy. So, we find out Strand is gay. There was a mixed reaction in this room. Some of us didn't care.
Hey.
Some of us reacted poorly.
I don't care.
And
I mean,
some of
it
us
was,
said, "Hey," over here. So
I mean, it was definitely a shocker. I didn't see that coming. So
here's what I will say: we said that they needed to turn it up a notch.
Well, they did.
That was shocking. I was not expecting it. I don't know what I was thinking when he was walking over to him. I thought it was going to be one of those like, "You get the fuck done and then get back here." Not like I miss you.
But for as shocking as that was for everybody, going to The Walking Dead, and I won't say names or anything, say Daryl survives Lucille.
Right.
There is talk that he'll become gay with another character in the series who I won't mention, who is confirmed gay, but not somebody that you know.
With the not the openly gay guy that we already know.
Not the openly gay guy you already know.
Huh, okay. Eugene?
No.
Ball muncher.
He's just got hair game.
Hair game on point. So I mean, it's weird because I think with Strand we've gone from knowing nothing about him to basically knowing everything about him. Survived Hurricane Katrina, went from being a normal guy to like, all right, fine, if this is the way it works, I'm going to do whatever it takes to survive. Screws over the wrong person, gets caught up. Instead of them being mad, they're kind of impressed, and they bring him in, and he's working for them, and also gets involved in a relationship. So Gotham Guy says, so this episode confirms cartel zombies in the second part of the season. I think we're all hoping for cartel zombies. I think that would be awesome, because it's going to be more of what we saw right at the end there with the high caliber machine guns, with assault rifles, with doing the whole 9, and actually seeing a lot of action. So I'm going to dig that.
I think once again we have a possible chance of the baby zombie.
So yeah, so let's talk about that.
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
What Doug Ray Scott is known for is London Town Tiger House, The Vatican Tapes, The Resort, Taken 3, Hemlock Grove, Hurricane Project, The Wrong Man, Strike Back, Last Passenger, Doctor Who, Death Race Inferno, A Nice Touch, Sinbad, A Week with Marilyn, 1,000 Kisses Deep, Love's Kitchen, United, There Be Dragons, The Quintuplets, The Day of the Triffids, Father and Son, The Diplomat, Newtown Killers, Love Me Forever, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Hitman, Desperate Housewives, Heist, Perfect Creature, The 10 Commandments, Dark Water, The Truth About Love, Things to Do 4030, One Last Chance, The Poet, To Kill a King, Ripley's Game, Enigma, Mission Impossible 2.
Alright, so he's prolific. We got, yeah.
Yeah, but
Doug Ray
I don't.
Scott is the guy who
I don't see.
Not The Walking Dead. That would be at the top. So
Yeah.
I think what I'm thinking about is he plays that role of the cartel boss, the boss man a lot, and maybe that's where I'm getting that from. Like in Heist, in a couple of those movies that you named, he plays that character. So it might be Doug Ray.
You
That's his
probably,
name, right?
Stephen Doug Ray Scott.
Doug Ray, but yeah, Doug Ray
Yeah,
Scott.
you've probably seen him in other shows. That's
So a
why.
little bit of bleed over. I see too many things, clearly. So that's where that's coming from.
I apparently don't see enough.
Yeah, so Gotham Guy says, yes, more possible than on The Walking Dead. Yeah, on The Walking Dead, I think that we are in the point with The Walking Dead where it's much more humans versus humans, and it's going to continue to be humans versus humans. It's exciting to get back to the idea that there is, like, hordes, and it's... The hordes we see in The Walking Dead are very much the, like, we can't manage this. This is not shooting them. This is guiding them somewhere else, like they did this season. At the beginning of the season anyway. It's exciting to get back to the manageable hordes where it's like, all right, lock and load, let's go in and do some killing. And I think that's what we're on the brink of, which is exciting. I'm glad that that's going to happen. So,
I like the possibility of baby zombies back.
Anyway,
with 6 seasons in of The Walking Dead,
yeah.
Do you think there would be at least one baby zombie somewhere?
So Gotham Guy is talking about some of the movies from Doug Ray Scott. So if you want to check out the comments, make sure you go to youtube.com/c/Dirty Shore UGI-OTA. We always live stream every episode, but you can always check out the video after the fact. It'll be posted live along with the episode at DirtyShoreUnderground.com. So the Pirates. Worst band of pirates. Prolific, yes. Using what they got, yes. You got a pregnant lady? It's an easy way to get on a ship.
Letting Travis sneak a couple weapons past you?
Not so smart. Yeah, and they're not great pirates. They're good at the entry. It's the controlling the crowd that's bad. And so here's what I'll tell you. It's the same thing with robbing a bank. It's not about how you get in, and it's not even about how you get out. It's about how you control the crowd while you're in there.
Controlling the situation.
Yeah, because if you're not in control of the crowd, if you're not in control of yourself and in control of the crowd, then things can go awry. You're not in control of the people with Travis doing his thing, and you don't see him sneaking stuff in, you lose control. If you have a crazy pregnant women are crazy enough already. You put pregnancy on top of that, and then leave her in charge of people who are going to fuck with her to try to get an emotional response. And that's what happens. And she gets the response that she wants. So, but I don't think that they're going the direction of the zombie baby. Here's what I'll tell you. So it was interesting because they can call up those of you who know about pregnancies, which is one person in this room probably knows as much as I do about pregnancies. Sometimes you go a couple days without feeling a kick.
He's got a couple kids. I'm sure he knows it.
I know you do, but I don't know how you were and how involved you were.
You usually feel them every day up until the last month of your pregnancy.
Right. And how far away did she say she was?
Like 4 weeks.
4 weeks. So I think that mom knows in her mind.
Which is why during that last month of your pregnancy,
Yeah.
they have you come every other week
Right.
to check the baby.
And that is her first kid.
And it's her first kid.
Where mom's had a few, so
and she knows that you get that kind of stillness where the baby's getting in position and then sits there. And
Not
just
Kendall. She
basically
slipped
waiting.
back around.
Wow. But a lot of times what they'll tell you to do if you're worried is to eat citrus. You eat oranges or juice. Well, you could move
You sit
them
there.
too.
You sit there
Push.
and nudge.
But if you eat stuff that has high citrus content, high vitamin C, it tends to make the baby active. But you can't do that when you're on a ship because it's hard to get fresh fruit and whatever. So I just thought it was interesting that it's typical. What's happening for this mother, for the pregnant woman, is totally typical. And mom is using it. I want to call her Maggie. It's definitely not Maggie. What's the mom's name?
Maddie.
Maddie knows
Close.
this and is using it to her advantage to say, I'm gonna fuck with this girl and I'm gonna make her start asking questions. But I don't think that they're going in the direction of zombie baby. I think they're going in the direction of.
Just like stomping on all.
I'm sorry.
One could hope for zombie baby.
Yes. And I do think that she wasn't one of the ones who was shot. I don't think. Was she?
I want to see a zombie baby.
But was she one of the ones who was shot? That's the question at the end there. We saw Jesse Cartret or whatever get stabbed. We saw 2 people outside get shot.
Jesse McCartney,
whatever, get stabbed. We saw 2 get shot. Was she one of the ones?
The redhead got shot and the guy got shot.
Okay, so she's still there.
I don't know where she was at
She was inside the boat.
She was inside.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say over by the bar, but the redhead and the guy were the ones at the door that got shot in the head, and then Jesse ran over to see what was going on and got stabbed with the firearm.
The iron. Gotham guy. Yeah, scurvy is exactly what we're talking about. That scurvy is what you get when you don't get enough fresh fruit. So, and we missed a little bit of your comment there. I apologize, but I mean, basically, yes, Jesse McCartney is a bad pirate because he has that kill everyone ideal. Not really what you want to have. It doesn't enamor the people to you, and he probably was the one who set fire to the other boat.
He said the pirate leader seems to be better than the guy that pole reamed. Pole reamed pirate is a mess and had a bad pirate with a kill everyone ideal.
Yeah, so the leader did seem to have like a good head on his shoulders, but again, we don't know anything about him. So it may be that he was, he's good cop to Jesse McCartney's bad cop. And he comes in and he's like, why are you being so mean to these good people? You know, let's treat them really well. And then gets them to get on their side.
You know what the first thing I think at that moment? The governor.
Exactly right. Exactly right. I was thinking the same thing. Come off very nice, even though he's totally crazy, and we just didn't get a chance to see it because Luis spread his brain all over the backside of the boat. So, sorry for that.
Splatter.
2 pirates are sniped or dead. Jesse was pole reamed. No one else was shot. Maddie was inside the boat, and then later on the raft. So my guess is we're going to see Pregnant Girl, and I have a feeling Maddie is going to bring her back. She's going to come and become part of the group, and then what is it with these fucking writers that we have to have a newborn baby along with us to make this shit exciting? Like, come on, guys. Honestly.
Like, where do they have time to actually have sex to do that?
Well, she was pregnant when this started, because keep in mind, we were only about 2 months in at this point, so she was real pregnant when this thing started. By the way, how scary does that have to be? Not only are you going through the zombie apocalypse, but you're 6 months pregnant? Jesus. And did we find out, did she say who the daddy was?
She's not 6 months.
She was 6 when they started.
If she's 4 weeks away, then she's probably about her 9th month.
Right,
now.
but she was 6 months when it started. We're 2 months in now, so now she's about 4 weeks away.
8.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 months.
So, but how scary would that? And did she say who Daddy was? It's not none of the people who were on the boat. So I got that sense. And
we'll get a flashback episode with Daddy being eaten.
Let's see, Prego is on the Guantanamo-looking place with Connor. The place Alicia and Travis look to be in the next episode. So that was Gotham guy who made the comment. So I guess I think we're going to see her stick around. My question is this: why was Chris getting so upset about the guy insulting his sister? Like, did you get any kind of weird sense about that at all? Like, he was like making comments about the guy banging his sister, which I think you'd get upset
Chris
about.
They're not really brother and sister.
Right. Like, so, but does he really want to bang her? Is that really where is that where that's coming from?
I mean, in the last season they had that moment at one point. So.
Yeah. Because it's like, I imagine my own reaction would be like, dude, I don't care. Like, she can do whatever she wants. Like, it'd be a little weird that she's banging the guy who's putting us in, wrapping our hands and stuff, but...
That's right, you bang him to let us go.
Honestly, though, I'd be like, Sarah, seriously, whatever you gotta do.
Make it happen.
She would kill you. She would kill you.
That was Barney Stinson to the fullest right there.
Right?
Make it happen.
Right. Do what you gotta do to get us free.
Girl, handle your business.
So when I see Chris have that reaction, I'm like, maybe he is a little jealous. Maybe he does. But he's got Ophelia sitting there in front of him, and they had that weird interaction at the beginning of the episode where,
He just wants to be a man whore and help repopulate the earth.
Me or Chris? Okay, fair enough. Yeah. So Gotham Guy says he was upset that Jesse was making reference to Alicia being banged by the guy that tricked and toyed with her. He was being oddly protective. I think he was being protective, but it went beyond that to me. It seemed like a little too much. But we did see that Chris has a little bit of skill because he was running some game on Ophelia. She did shut him down a little bit, but I didn't get the sense that like that was the end of the conversation at all. It was like, all right, for now we're good, but you come talk to me a little later. And if he mans up and like jiggers that pole inside of Jesse McCartney a little bit, the one that's stabbing through him, that's what I'm talking about. He might impress Ophelia a little bit. I don't know.
Maybe that's what he was going for when he did grab a hold of it to try to. Hey, maybe I can impress her.
Although, I'll say the episode did start to pick up quite a bit.
Right.
In the last 10-15 minutes.
And
I like how we're not even calling him by the name that they made for him. You're calling him Jesse.
Here's the thing. So one of the commercials during the program was for whatever show Ross Geller is doing again, and I don't know. I can't.
David Schwimmer.
David Schwimmer. That's his real name.
Ross from Friends.
Friends. I will never call him David Schwimmer. When he is on the O.J. Simpson show, I called him Ross. Whatever show he's on now, I will call him Ross. He will always be Ross. Jesse McCartney will always be Jesse McCartney. I don't care who he is. Tom Hanks is always Tom Hanks. It's that way for every fucking thing. You, unfortunately, fall into that.
Tom Hanks, for me, will always be Forrest Gump.
That's a little weird. Jack was the one, was the guy's
How is
name.
that weird?
The one with Alicia made to wander off with. So Jack was the one she was talking to on the radio, I guess. Both Chris and Nick are kind of have weird moments as of late. Having weird moments as of late. There was some like weird sexual energy going on the boat, and I don't know what's going on. But clearly nobody's getting laid. Travis is pissing off his wife, so he's not getting laid. None of the other people are getting laid. Gotham Guy says, feed the beast. Ross looks to be tangled with gangbangers. My initial impression, I just saw bangers, and I was like, wait a second, what kind of... Did I miss something in that show? But yeah. But he'll always be Ross. David Schwimmer will also always be Ross, and it's sad, but, unfortunately, sorry, Ross. You're always going to be Ross.
That happens with certain shows.
Yeah, and Jesse McCartney will always be Jesse McCartney.
That's like we watch The Ranch, and we still see Kelso and
Hyde.
Yeah.
It's always going to be Kelso and Hyde. So,
They act the same.
yeah, I mean, it's the same dynamic between the two of them.
They act the same as they did in the 70s show.
So, is anybody upset that we saw that whole situation on the boat kind of end in one episode? Like, they could have really... I mean, maybe there's some exciting stuff coming.
It hasn't really ended yet, I mean...
Well, no, but because they took the boat back. They really could have stretched that out a little more.
For the preview for next week, I don't
It's
think
not
it's
done
over
yet, though.
I don't think we're done yet.
To an extent,
Yes, they took the boat back from those dudes, but it's not over.
I think this is the part where we're supposed to feel that they're safe. And
Right.
It's gonna hit the fan with 3 episodes left.
And that's the story. That's the story of The Walking Dead. Is
so.
you feel safe and you're not. But I mean, like, I would have liked to see a little reverse pursuit where they take the boat, they get it started, and then Luis and Nick are chasing Abigail, and they need to chase it down and retake the boat. Huh?
The boat was already running, wasn't it?
No, he didn't get it running all the way. That was part of the problem.
Because they said he got it started, blah blah blah.
Oh, maybe he did. That's right, because he got it started right when the
Yeah.
other boat got there. That's right.
Yeah.
So I guess he did have it started. But I would have liked to see like a little chase, and we get to know Connor a little better, because Connor again looked a lot like the governor before his brain got splattered all over the boat. To see what happened with him. But again, maybe there's more excitement coming. I think there's just some concern that this is the one good episode they had, and it's just gonna at the end of the season.
Down.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and when you have that kind of good excitement happening, there's always worry that they can't keep it up. And that was a good situation to keep that tension up. Everybody's tied up, and stuff's happening, and I don't know. Strand is, but I guess the problem was Strand is in that little dinghy. He had to be saved.
He wasn't in a dinghy; he was floating.
Well, the dinghy sank. But if Abigail leaves, then Nick and Luis don't know that he's there, and so Strand gets left behind. So I guess they do have to stop it there.
Can I ask, why didn't he know how to swim?
People don't know how to swim.
It would have been so much easier just to swim back to the boat than sit there and float.
He doesn't know how to swim.
Not everybody knows how to swim.
Yeah.
You can't be Nick and just swim probably a half mile to shore naked.
Yeah, Gotham Guy following up exactly. It's weird because I'm sure that you wrote that while I was actually saying it with the delay. But yeah, he couldn't leave Strand behind because now that we know his story, he's got to continue. But and also we know that Luis said without Strand, you don't get into Mexico. So and he'd been saying that to Nick on shore. So obviously it's going to have to happen. They're going to chase after Connor, who got away with Travis and Alicia, wherever their pirate cove is. Yeah, so I guess there is still a chase to be had. I just think it would have been better if they were on the Abigail and it was getting the boat back. Like reverse
Abigail's
pirates.
not going to catch the one that they were on.
Well, but reverse pirates, you know what I mean? Where it's like, we got to get our boat back and it's a chase down.
But I don't think at this point it's the other group trying to run away. They think they got things handled on Abigail at this point, so they got the element of surprise.
I guess that's true. I mean, and so we'll have to see how it develops. And you gotta, I mean, we've been saying all along. Yeah, we've been saying all along. We hope that it stays good. We hope it stays strong. So we'll see.
Well, Alicia kind of has free range though, doesn't she? Because of her.
She's cut, and yeah. And so here's a question: is she really playing along, or is she kind of getting on Team Jack? Like, is Jack's very much like the governor too, in a way, because he's like, listen. I'm not a bad guy. I'm just doing what they tell me to do. Everything I said to you, I meant. You know.
I don't know that look in her eyes with the hug thing when you let her loose.
That's the only.
I was just waiting.
I was waiting for her to stab him.
I was waiting for the cock shot. Deadpool stuff.
Gotham Guy says he wasn't going back to the boat. He lost his weapon when the boat went down. He wasn't going back to fight empty-handed. He was going to. I think there's more of that message somewhere. But I think also Strain doesn't swim. Strain can't swim. Not everybody can swim. And
He was trying to get to Louise for more weapons and more people.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he was doing the dead man's float, which is just okay.
That's what people do. They can't swim.
Yeah. I just hang out here and oh, you're coming. Okay. Because here's the other thing: when you see Maddie coming in the boat. Had he been able to swim and you see Maddie coming, you turn and start going that way. When you are laying there and you're like, oh, that's, I can't swim and I'm afraid to move because I don't want to sink.
Oh, hypothermia was starting to.
Well, I'm sure that part too. And again, if you can't swim, or if you can swim, hypothermia be damned. If I start feeling that coldness coming in, I'm like, all right, weapons or not, shoot me if you want to. I'm getting back to the fucking boat. So. I think he just can't swim. It's really got to be what it's about.
Well,
so.
I mean, it only takes about 15 minutes for hypothermia to set in.
Yeah.
He could have butterfly stroke.
In the water for.
That's swimming. He can't swim.
If he can't doggy paddle, that's treading water.
It's for people who can swim. It's like when can you ride a bike?
Yes.
Try to tell somebody how to ride a bike without showing them. Like, it's
easy.
easy to ride a bike. You just get on it,
And you
you start pedaling, and then you go. Swimming is the same way. It's like, well, you get there and you're floating, right? And then you're like, hey, I want to go over there. So then you just do this, and you go over there. And then they're like, what? I do this, and then I start sinking. That's what I did. Like, there's a lot involved in swimming, so it's not as easy as people think. It's like riding a bike. And the same way that no matter how long it's been since you swam, if somebody threw you in water, if you fell in water, you'd be able to start swimming again. If you never learn how to do it, though, you're sunk.
Or if you have a fear of water.
Although, that could be it, too.
That would fuck him up even worse, because if I go out on the boat now.
Well, the other side of that is you got to wonder if maybe Strand had a little fear of water. He was in Katrina, and he was freaking out a lot, and maybe some of that was he can't swim, but maybe some of it was flashback to I'm in New Orleans and the water's rising, and
maybe the only reason he got on the boat is he thought that was the easiest way to Mexico to not deal with any shit.
Get out.
Come to find out,
it's all back in his lap. So Pirates. So we know that Travis and Alicia are on Connor's boat headed to, I think Gotham Guy called it Pirate Cove. So let's call it Pirate Cove. They're off to Pirate Cove. They've taken the Abigail back. So Luis is there. They've got some serious fucking hardware, so they're loaded for bear. Did we see where Nick took a shower? Where did he take a shower?
With Luis. Luis said you gotta get cleaned up before you get in my car. You're not messing
Even
with
though-
my
I mean, I know he said that, but then he got out as if he had fully showered. Like,
He probably did.
where is he showering?
In the house.
He
there.
told him to use the last of the water pressure to clean up.
I missed that. I must have totally missed
Which,
that.
he knew he was leaving the car behind, so why? Is my question.
Because
Why did he freak out so much about the car?
in civilized society, we have rules. And the rules are... So, I can't remember what apocalyptic thing I saw, but, like, these guys were going into somebody's house, and the old woman whose house it was like, wipe your feet! And these guys are, like, covered with dust. They've been out in the wasteland or whatever, and, the whole society is broken down. She's got piles of junk everywhere, and there's a welcome mat. And so, like, they're dirty, and they look down, and there's, like... Because in a civilized society, you have rules. When the old lady says wipe your damn feet, you wipe your feet when you come in. So, Gotham Guy says in Luis's house, using the last of the water pressure, he had new clothes as well. Yeah, thank you, Gotham Guy. I was going to say, I noticed the new clothes, and I don't know, I guess I missed the part about using the water pressure to clean up. But good for him, because he was looking a fucking hot mess.
Got the job done though, didn't it?
Yeah. Also, there was so very few zombies where he went ashore there. We saw the one girl that he talked to, and he was like banging that basketball, and it didn't seem to attract anybody. So, I mean,
They didn't have a gate there, so I imagine if there was any of them inside, it was a few stranglers.
They've done such a shitty job of kind of letting us know where they are. The one good thing that The Walking Dead always did was we kind of had an idea of where they were. Once you get on a fucking boat, it's... Who knows where the fuck they are? We know they're kind of moving south, but no real idea. The one island was Catalina. They called it something else, but it was Catalina. And now they're moving south. So, Gotham Guy says Luis likes appearance. He likes neatness and order. He likes point to a point. Hence why he was a tad upset that he wouldn't be allowed. Yeah, so I mean, I think we got that from the flashbacks
To
too.
pay Strand back for stealing.
So I think we got that from the flashback, right? That he has certain rules and certain order, and that's the way it works. Even in the zombie apocalypse, polite society, we have rules, and this is what we do. So,
Although, I'm sure that won't last for long.
Well, I mean, I think it does though, because think about it.
He didn't worry about getting blood on the boat.
Well, no, but that's because he was taking the boat back. But I mean, like at Herschel's house, which was a solid year, 6 months into it.
It was 6 months.
Then they still had rules at Herschel's house in The Walking Dead. In the prison,
They had rules, but as you also seen, a lot of the normal day-to-day stuff was out the window.
how about the town, the governor's town? Rules and order. No gun. Or Alexandria, no guns inside. You know, they have very strict rules that they live by. And where life continues to go on, people tend to fall into those old patterns of this is what we do, this is how we do it.
But they don't worry about a vehicle. Is the thing. Not a single one of them ever worried about a vehicle.
Well, see,
Except for Daryl, because he's partial to his bike.
there's two kinds of people in a zombie apocalypse. Sorry, I don't want to miss this comic. Gotham Guy says it was a developmental area. Luis said they were building houses and condos. Pretty sure Luis was also entertaining himself by sniping. I would
Keeping those skills he used on the pirates sharp.
Okay, there you go. So I would imagine that that's probably true. But it's... Shoot, now I can't remember what I was saying before. But rules and order, there will always be people who keep
Alexandria,
things.
no guns.
Yeah, in Alexandria, they have certain rules that everybody lives by. And maybe some of the day-to-day stuff changes, but in the end, people always want rules and order. And they want what's familiar. They want everything to kind of be the same. That's what we've seen from our crew on The Walking Dead is, and effort to continually try to make things the same as they were, despite the fact that it never fucking works out.
Not at all.
And so, I mean, I imagine we're going to see, now that we're much closer in time to everything falling apart, I think that there's a much more of them hanging on to that. Oh, there's two types of people during the zombie apocalypse. There's Rob, who pulls out of the Lamborghini dealership during the zombie apocalypse very carefully, opens the sliding door, drives the car out, looking very carefully. And then there's Kenny, who picks two Lambos that he likes. The first one, he drives through the glass, wrecking it out onto the street, so that he clears a path for the second one that he likes, and he doesn't mess it up.
GTA style.
Right. So those are the two kinds of people, you know, and so Luis is the first
In
type.
a zombie apocalypse,
Yeah.
you know damn well you're gonna be running into zombies in that Lambo.
No, but my point is that
All you
like
do is cut them in half.
when society breaks down, I mean, you see those. It's not even zombies, it's just post-apocalyptic, where even if everybody just died, everybody was gone, everybody disappeared, whatever, and you see those people who are like, what's the first thing you do? You go get a fancy car. Well, there's always the two types of people. There's the guy who like goes around and is like looking for the keys in the dealership, and then there's the other guy who's like under the hood, like poking stuff with a stick until it fires up. You know, hot wiring the car, or like just ripping out cords and like hot wiring under the dash. And I'm the guy who's looking for the keys. I'm like, this is a dealership. There's got to be fucking keys here somewhere. Kenny just rips out all of the steering column and he's just like putting the wires together until the thing lights up. Yeah. And it's rules of society. And so for Luis, his car, even if he's gonna leave it there, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's his Porsche. It stays nice until the moment that he leaves it there. And
Carrera GT.
maybe he will come back for it someday, and he doesn't want zombie blood all over it.
Oh,
Well, he shit out of luck on that because they were coming over the hill when he was getting in the boat. So
Well, that doesn't mean they won't come after the car though. So Gotham guy says, I worry about Luis. He had to stay meticulously clean a bit of the gunk on the car where Nick leaned against it. He's probably gonna clean the
blood off the boat.
Yeah, but I mean, again, it's
Lane
and maybe that's true. But I think it's also, again,
Well,
it's about.
If you're a germaphobe in the zombie apocalypse, you're pretty much fucked.
I mean, are you though? Because it's easier to keep things clean. Way easier to keep things clean. I mean, really, if you want to think about it, because you can just.
If you think about it, the
disposable.
zombie apocalypse is a germ, a virus.
Right, but I mean, aside from that, they don't really know that yet. They're not at that point yet.
I'm just saying.
But in the end, if your car gets dirty and you want to always have a clean car, you just go get a new car. So, and again, I think that's the two different ways of thinking. There are the people who would just like plow through every zombie and then go get a new car. And then there are the people who will like swerve around zombies to make sure their car stays nice.
You have an unlimited amount of vehicles on road and showrooms that we have yet to see.
It's not unlimited. It is in fact at that moment limited.
Yes, it's limited.
All the cars that were ever made have been made
for
at that point.
a certain point in time. It's unlimited to you.
Well, I was gonna say, I remember. I think it was the Road, or it was Alice maybe. But there's
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go get the car that has the most miles to the gallon and get where the fuck I need to go.
she's gonna buy a Prius.
but in that movie,
with the solar roof.
Absolutely.
whatever movie that is, though, they say that there's like this depressing thought that when the apocalypse happens or when society breaks down, everything that has ever been made is now been made. Nothing will ever be made again. Every book that's ever been written has now been written. Every movie that's ever been made has now been made. TV show, car, boat, everything. We will never make anything substantial
Cigarette.
again. Well, and I think ironically that in that there's a guy who's smoking, and that's how he does it. He like takes it out and he looks at the cigarette, and he has that moment where he's like, because he realizes like they're not
Probably
growing.
the last one.
They're not growing tobacco, so at some point they will run out of tobacco because you don't grow
But
cash
if they
crops.
grew
You grow-
tobacco, it would
Yeah.
be like American Spirit, which is all natural.
Right, but you don't grow cash crops. You grow stuff you can eat.
Yep.
So you can't eat tobacco. You don't grow it. Tobacco. God, we are getting way super farm nerdy right now. But Tobacco kills the soil.
FFA.
Yeah, tobacco kills the soil. You don't ever want to grow it unless you have to.
But you can walk into a pharmacy and find a bottle of BG to get your...
Stress level's going to be
Vape
high.
on.
You're going to have to.
Well, and you don't even have to walk into a pharmacy. What you could do is walk into Oasis Vapor on North 6th Street in Denton, Maryland. It's in the big red building, smack dab between the Burger King and the McDonald's. If you're driving down Route 404, it's going to be the exit for Route 313 and 616. And as you know, if you've ever listened to the podcast before, we are big fans of the folks down at Oasis Vapor, and they are big fans of ours, so we fully support them, and we ask that you go down and check
Good luck
them out.
keeping y'all's vapes charged in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, solar, you can recharge. These batteries are so efficient, you can recharge them on a solar collector. So,
We're good.
so
We're
you'll be good to go. But
You say so.
whether you're trying to survive a zombie apocalypse or if you're just trying to quit smoking like I am, or like Karina is, you can head down to Oasis Vapor and get any of the supplies you need. If you are of the skill set of I am, which is breathe in and breathe out, if you're the skill set that Kenny is, which is he can rebuild a lot of stuff, or if you're like Brian and you're blowing smoke rings over here and doing tricks, no matter what level you're at, Oasis Vapor has something that can help you out. So make sure you go to Oasis Vapor in Denton, Maryland, check them out. As I said, big supporters of the show, we're big supporters of them, so we love everything that they do for us. So make sure that you head down to Oasis Vapor. And again, people from all over the East Coast are coming to Oasis. It's one of 25 shops in America that sells the Rogue Mod. And thanks to Kenny, it's also going to be carrying a bunch of new liquids. So,
from what I hear, we got a whole shit ton of stuff that's going to be in this week, too. So.
Great. So it's a perfect time. If you've never been before, come on down to Denton, Maryland, and check out Oasis Vapor. Or go to Oasis Vapor on Facebook. You'll find the link in the show notes of this episode and every episode. So make sure you check them out, Oasis Vapor, Denton, Maryland. When you go in, if Nate's in there, say hi to Nate. Let him know you heard about it on the podcast. If you go on the weekends, you'll catch Kenny in there. Make sure you say hi to him and let him know you heard about it. Dirty Shore Underground.
And if you're in Easton, hit up Shore Vapor.
And if you're in Easton, make sure you go by Shore Vapor, the other half of the vape crew.
You'll find Brian in either one of the stores. And
wandering.
And at Shore Vapor, you'll find Brandon and Richie on a daily. So. And I'm pretty sure what he's saying about the bot guys is these little...
Yes, what he's talking about is this little dude up here. Sorry, if you guys are watching on the video, I can't reach him.
He said the Anthem banner.
Yeah, it's all the way on the outside over there. No, the other side. Other side.
Over here.
Look, I always fucking flip it.
There you go.
There you go.
So, for those of you who are listening to the audio, sorry about that. You want to go to youtube.com/c/Dirty Shore UG-OTA and check out the video to see what we're talking
Your
about.
butt's having a seizure.
So make sure you check out those videos at DirtyShoreUnderground.com, available both places.
I turned one night after y'all's podcast, I turned the lights off, and every one of those bots dropped all the banners.
From the lights going on?
Mm-hmm.
They're ADHD.
So yeah, so what are we expecting for the last 3 episodes that are coming up?
I think that I'm hoping this is where they finally start to pick it up.
Me too.
Because they have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I think
they're
I
not going
need
to
to
pick it up
give
for a third
up on
season.
Nick dying.
Nick is about to be Rick. I'm telling you, Nick is the Rick.
We gave up on him dying in the first episode of this season. So
We did. She didn't know. She's still hoping Nick's gonna die. So what specifically? What are we looking for?
Strand to obviously, I think we're going to see a little bit more on Strand. I don't think we've heard everything about him yet.
Sorry, make sure you're going to Dirty Shore Underground, youtube.com/c/Dirty Shore UG-OTA. If you're not participating in the comments section, you're missing out on half of the show. We do read some of the comments, but not all of them. You definitely want to go there and check that out. So, anyway, so we're gonna find out more about Strand. What else? What do you think?
I think Nick is coming into his calling at this point.
Yeah.
Travis is learning to get sneaky.
Yeah.
Poorly so far, but he's getting there. He's obviously smarter than the so-called pirates that he got 2 weapons into the main room with his people.
Yeah. And I'm thinking that obviously, do you think we get back to Travis and Alicia next episode, or is that going to be a setup for the final episode of the season?
I think it's going to be all-out war last episode to get their people back.
We've seen the heavy artillery come out now, so we know they have it. And I think that I know we were talking about it a little bit at the beginning, but I think the chase is on now. It's in reverse, though.
Who hit the clips in the M4?
Daniel, MP5.
Is
Daniel.
that MP5?
Yeah. He found it and he hid the clip because I think he didn't trust Strand, and that backfired.
Yeah, because
Unfortunately,
he was like, "That's stupid." They just he looked
Paranoid
down the stairs,
something.
Yeah.
and he seen the boots. He knew it was time to fucking whoop,
Yep.
jump off the boat, and he took the key with him, which was smart.
But in the end, Daniel kind of screwed him over because Strand apparently has some skills. Could have come down and ended that whole thing real quick, and then we would have had a zombie baby because he would have killed the pregnant woman and zombie baby. So, Gotham guy chiming in on what to expect: boat fights, Pirate Cove fight in the Pirate Cove dungeon where Travis is, ending with cartel zombies in Mexico. That sounds like a good season to me, and let's hope that that's where they go. So. Go ahead, yeah?
It might come down to, I'm thinking the pregnant girl and the Jack guy from them converting over to their group.
Joining our team, coming out through.
What if Jack was the daddy?
Of the baby? I don't know, I don't think so. I think that they would have said...
When they were having a conversation, he told her he's only had one girlfriend for 3 years.
I also think that if
But he didn't say what happened to her.
Jesse McCartney was talking about Jack banging Alicia, that pregnant girl would have had something to say if it was his baby. Like, if they were together,
His
it would
name is Reed.
Jesse McCartney.
Reed, is it
His
Reed?
name is Reed.
Reed. I'm
Mr.
sorry, Reed.
Beautiful Soul.
So yeah, if Reed was talking all that shit, I think the pregnant woman would have lost it. So I think it's safe to say that Jack is not the daddy. So, Gotham guy, also maybe some zombie pirates. It would be good to see zombie pirates. I would like to see some more zombies in the water. I think that'd be great.
Pirating the ship.
What the hell is zombie pirates gonna do other than walk off the side of the boat?
Well, no, like I mean, listen, there is the possibility here of you see a boat adrift and they go up into the boat to scavenge stuff, the same way that our other crew is doing on land, and then it's just a boat that's totally manned by zombies, and it's a boat full of zombies, and they have to fight zombies on a boat. Zombies on a boat. There's a movie that hasn't been done yet. Come on, Hollywood.
Well, they just had zombies on a plane.
Did they use zombies? Oh, Flight 462. Yeah, that did not work out well for anybody there.
Nazi
These
zombies.
zombies on this motherfucking plane.
Oh, so this podcast, as always, is available at DirtyShoreUnderground.com. You can find more information there, as well as links to our Amazon banner page. Make sure a great way to support the podcast is to click on the Amazon banner. Takes you to Amazon, you shop just like you normally do. But as a thank you from Amazon to us for sending you there, they send us a little something back. It's a great way to support the podcast. Another great way is to check out patreon.com, patreon.com/show the anthem. It's a great way to support the network. Helps us keep the lights on, helps us keep the bandwidth going, to provide this great free stuff for you guys. For as little as $1 per month, you can get access to all of the early previews of everything, including the new podcast we have coming this week on the Anthem Digital Network, as well as Heretics, which Kenny still hasn't seen yet.
I'm going to watch it tomorrow because we're going to talk about it next week.
Yay.
Okay. So,
You laughed at the last one. Well, I don't know why you're going, yay.
yeah, Heretics. The
the retarded ass show that was on the TV that one night. I asked you what
Yes.
the fuck it was.
The one that
and you
we
said
made.
it was Rob's.
Yes, the one that we made.
It wasn't retarded.
And YouTube, you can go to youtube.com/Oh the Anthem to check out Heretics. But if you like that, if you like the podcast, if you like all of this stuff, it's an easy, great way to support the network by going to patreon.com/Oh the Anthem. Click on the link there, and you can become a supporter for as little as $1 or as much as whatever you want. And there's different reward levels. You get more stuff the more you donate. So we thank everybody for supporting our podcast when it comes to that. Otherwise, look for a new episode this Thursday. We don't know what the topic is yet, but we'll be recording sometime this week. So make sure you keep an eye out at Dirty Shore UG on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for links to the live stream. Join us once again, youtube.com/C/Dirty Shore UG-OTA for the live stream of that podcast. Again, comment and
that
question.
That would be pretty badass.
What's that? Sorry. I want a POTC. Last comment of the night goes to Gotham Guy. I want a POTC mom moment where the skeleton pirates come out of the water, except that it's a horde that's been walking underwater and found a
Slope up to land.
Oh, there we go. So POTC.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh,
Remember that scene?
right, where they come up out of the water. Yeah, sure. I don't know if we're going to see that. I don't know that the rules of this universe allow, but it would obviously be good if they were fighting on the beach and then some zombies came walking out of the water
Well,
up
they
behind
can't
them.
exactly die, so they can't drown.
Can't drown. But it's about floating, because I think that we all also seen that they float. So, we will obviously look for new content later this week. Make sure you join us for the live stream. And new episodes on Thursday at DirtyShoreUnderground.com. All the information is available there at DirtyShoreUNG. You can find me on our social networks at Robert N. Cheek. Make sure you check out RobertNCheek.com for more stuff on me, including links to my news website, the political blog, and my books, which are available on Amazon. New book coming out this summer. It's with the publisher, waiting on my editor to get back the first draft.
Which
and then
book
the
is that?
calls, that's the sequel. The calls will be coming out late summer, early fall of this year, so look for that. Book number 4. So make sure you check out all that stuff. All that and more is available at DirtyShoreUnderground.com. Make sure you check out OTheAnthem.com for more information about O The Anthem. New episodes of that podcast every Tuesday. Make sure you join us for the new episode this week. Other than that, have a great week, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
I feel like you're one of those things at the end of a commercial says, but it's limited and not whatever to, and then just keeps going. And you can't understand what the hell they're saying.
So, are you saying he's slap chop or shake weighted?
Except for all of that stuff was perfectly hearable.
Hearable? Is hearable?
I think she's trying to say you're shake weighted.
Okay, Deadpool, shut up.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We tried to watch fucking Deadpool the other day, and I'm sitting here watching. Mind you, it's my first time watching it.